Right now, at this very moment, someone you love doesn't love you back the same way. And you know it. Deep down, you've always known it. But you're still there, still waiting, still hoping, still sacrificing pieces of yourself just to feel wanted. And here's the truth that's going to hurt before it heals you. Every second you spend begging someone to love you is a second you're choosing to destroy yourself. But what if I told you that the pain you're feeling right now, the rejection, the silence, the emptiness, isn't happening to punish you? What if it's happening to save you? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share will either break you free or keep you trapped forever. The choice is yours. If you are begging someone to love you, begging them to stay, begging them to reply, begging them to treat you like you matter, then listen to me very carefully, because this is not love anymore. This is self-destruction. And the most painful part is you don't even realize how much you are losing yourself every time you chase someone who has already decided they don't want to choose you. You keep giving, you keep waiting, you keep hoping, and they keep taking your peace like it means nothing. But Buddhism teaches something that can save you from this suffering. Because it says the deepest pain is not when people leave. The deepest pain is when you keep holding on to someone who is already gone inside. So today, if you feel rejected, ignored, or invisible, this message is for you, because you were never meant to beg for love. You were meant to be at peace, and once you finally let them go, your soul will breathe again. 1. Letting go doesn't mean you didn't love. It means you finally loved yourself more. One of the hardest things to accept in life is that letting go of someone does not mean you didn't love them. It does not mean your feelings were fake. It does not mean the memories were worthless. It does not mean your heart was wrong for caring. It only means you finally understood something that most people learn too late, and that is this. Love is not supposed to destroy you. Love is not supposed to make you lose your dignity. Love is not supposed to turn you into a person who constantly feels anxious, insecure, and unwanted. If you have to suffer just to stay connected to someone, then what you are holding is not love anymore. It is painful wearing the mask of love. Many people stay stuck because they romanticize struggle. They think love is supposed to be hard. They think love is supposed to feel like stress. They think love is supposed to be chasing, proving, waiting, hoping, and tolerating. They tell themselves every relationship has problems, so they normalize emotional neglect. They say nobody is perfect, so they excuse disrespect. They say, I just need to be more patient. So they keep swallowing their pain, and slowly, without realizing it, they start treating self-destruction like loyalty. They start calling suffering commitment. They start calling emotional hunger deep love. But Buddhism teaches something different. Buddhism teaches that peace is not a reward you earn after suffering. Peace is the foundation you must protect while living. Letting go feels like death to many people because the mind becomes addicted to attachment. The heart becomes attached to the routine of that person. The emotions become attached to the hope that things will improve. The ego becomes attached to the idea that I must be chosen. And because of this attachment, you don't let go when the relationship becomes unhealthy. You let go only when your soul is completely exhausted. You let go only when you cannot take it anymore. You let go only when you've cried too many nights, and your heart finally realizes this is not love. This is a slow, emotional drowning. But here is what makes letting go so painful. It is not only losing them, it is losing the version of the future you created in your mind. It is losing the dream of what you thought this could become. There is lost hope that one day they will change. One day they will see your worth. One day they will finally love you properly. That is why letting go feels like ripping your own heart, because you are not just letting go of a person. You are letting go of a fantasy that you kept alive inside your mind. And your mind will fight hard to keep that fantasy, because fantasy feels safer than reality. Buddhism teaches that suffering happens when you hold on to what is not real. When you keep holding on to expectations, attachments, and illusions, you suffer because life is always moving, always changing, always showing you truth. But attachment makes you resist the truth. Attachment makes you resist endings. Attachment makes you resist reality. So instead of seeing the relationship for what it truly is, you keep seeing it for what it could be. And this could become your prison. Your maybe becomes your chain. Your hope becomes your suffering. That is why letting go is not a weakness. It is clarity. It is the moment you stop lying to yourself. It is the moment you stop begging for what should be natural. It is the moment you stop convincing yourself to stay in pain just because you once felt love. Because love is not just feelings. Love is behavior. Love is effort. Love is respect. Love is protection. Love is consistency. If someone only gives you love when it benefits them, but disappears when you need them, that is not love. If someone only chooses you when they are lonely, but ignores you when they are distracted, that is not love. If someone makes you feel like you are too much for simply asking for loyalty, that is not love. Love never makes you feel like a burden. Many people fear letting go because they think it means they failed. They think maybe I wasn't good enough. They think maybe if I tried harder, it would work. They think maybe I gave up too early. But the truth is, sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to stop trying. Because effort should not only come from one side, love should not only be carried by one heart. If you are the only one fighting, you're not in a relationship. You are in an emotional struggle. And if you stay, you will eventually lose yourself completely. Buddhism teaches that when you cling, you suffer, and when you release, you heal. Letting go is not about forgetting them. It is about freeing yourself. It is about removing your heart from a place where it is constantly being wounded. It is about choosing peace over chaos. It is about choosing dignity over begging. It is about choosing your mental health over emotional addiction. Because every day you stay in a painful attachment, you are teaching your mind that pain is normal. You are training your heart to accept the bare minimum. You are lowering your standards. You are weakening your self-worth. And you don't even realize it until you look in the mirror one day and ask yourself, who have I become? Letting go is the moment you decide, I will not lose myself anymore. It is the moment you decide, I will no longer chase anyone who makes me feel invisible. It is the moment you decide, I will no longer beg for love that should come naturally. And yes, at first, letting go will hurt. You will miss them. You will think of them at night. You will remember old memories. You will feel a heavy emptiness in your chest. You will feel moments where you want to run back. But Buddhism teaches that pain is part of healing. Pain is part of withdrawal. Pain is the mind detoxing from attachment. Because when you let go of someone who didn't choose you, you are not just losing a person. You are breaking a habit. You are breaking a dependency. You are breaking an emotional cycle. You are breaking the pattern of settling. And breaking patterns always hurts, but it hurts for a reason, because it is rebuilding you, it is cleansing you, it is sharpening you, it is upgrading your soul. And here is the most powerful truth. Letting go is not the end. It is the beginning. It is the beginning of peace. It is the beginning of self-respect. It is the beginning of emotional freedom. It is the beginning of your glow-up, your healing, your rebirth. The version of you that begged will die, and the version of you that chooses dignity will rise. So if you are letting go of someone right now, don't shame yourself for loving them. Don't shame yourself for trying. Don't shame yourself for caring. Your love was real. Your heart was sincere. But now it is time to love yourself more. Because the most spiritual thing you can do is stop pouring your heart into a place where it keeps getting wasted. Sometimes the greatest act of love is not holding on. It is knowing when to release. And when you release, you don't lose love. You recover your peace. 2. When someone doesn't choose you, They are giving you a truth, not an insult. One of the most painful experiences in life is giving your heart to someone, giving them your loyalty, your time, your emotions, your patience, and then slowly realizing they are not choosing you the same way. They are not showing up for you. They are not protecting the connection. They are not trying to keep you. And the reason it hurts so deeply is that you start thinking it means something about your value. Like rejection is proof that you are not enough. But Buddhism teaches something that can save your mind from destruction. It teaches that rejection is not always an insult. Many times it is simply the truth being revealed. The truth is, when someone does not choose you, they are not confusing you. They are showing you exactly where you stand in their life. Their actions are their answer. Their distance is their decision. Their silence is their message. Their lack of effort is their truth. And the longer you deny that truth, the longer you suffer. Because most people don't suffer from the rejection itself. They suffer from the mental war they create inside their own head. They keep wondering what I did wrong. Why are they acting like this? Maybe they are busy. Maybe they are stressed. Maybe they still care, but they don't know how to show it. And while your mind keeps creating excuses to protect your feelings, your heart keeps getting wounded by reality. A person who truly values you does not leave you guessing every day. They don't disappear and return whenever it is convenient for them. They don't make you feel like you are asking too much for basic effort. They don't treat love like something they can pause whenever they want. Because real love is not inconsistent. Real love does not come with anxiety. Real love does not make you feel unwanted. When someone chooses you, you don't have to question it. You feel it in their behavior. You feel it in their priorities. You feel it in the way they speak to you and the way they protect your place in their life. But when someone does not choose you, you feel it too. You feel it in the emptiness. You feel it in the delay. You feel it in the coldness. You feel it in the way they make you feel like you are asking for too much when you are only asking for what should already be normal. And this is where Buddhism gives you strength, because Buddhism teaches you to see clearly without begging reality to change. Many people destroy themselves because they don't accept what is already happening. They keep chasing closure from a person who already gave them closure through their actions. They keep wanting explanations from someone who already explained everything through their lack of care. They keep begging for honesty from someone who is clearly comfortable with keeping them emotionally stuck. That is why the suffering becomes deeper, because you're not only dealing with their behavior, you're also dealing with your own resistance to the truth. A powerful thing to understand is that someone's inability to choose you is not always proof that you are lacking. It is often proof that you are simply in the wrong place. Sometimes you are too loyal to someone who only wants temporary attention. Sometimes you are too serious for someone who is not mature enough to handle commitment. Sometimes you are too genuine for someone who prefers games, for example, and control. Sometimes you are too deep for someone who only understands shallow connections. And if you keep trying to fit into a person's limited heart, you will start shrinking until you don't recognize yourself anymore. That is why it is dangerous to take rejection personally, because not everyone is capable of loving the way you love. Buddhism teaches that life is always giving you signs, but most people ignore them because they are emotionally attached. You get signs through disrespect. You get signs through inconsistency. You get signs through excuses. You get signs through broken promises. You get signs through the way they show love only when it benefits them. And each sign is life trying to protect you. But when you're attached, you don't see signs as protection. You see them as something you must fix. You think if you try harder, if you become better, if you become softer, if you become more patient, if you become more understanding, then maybe they will finally change. But the truth is, no matter how good you are, you can never force someone to value you. You can never force someone to choose you. You can never force someone to love you with sincerity. Love cannot be forced. Love is a decision. This is why rejection should not destroy you. It should awaken you. Because now you see what is real. Now you see where you truly stand. Now you stop wasting your energy on imagination. Now you stop investing in people who are only half present. And yes, it will still hurt because your heart was involved. Your emotions were real. Your memories were real. But the pain is not meant to break you. It is meant to free you. Because if someone does not choose you, they are saving you from a future where you would have continued suffering in silence. And the biggest lesson is this: you don't need closure from someone who disrespected you. You don't need explanations from someone who made you feel small. You don't need proof from someone who made you doubt your worth. Their absence is your answer. Their lack of effort is your clarity. Their failure to choose you is their truth. So instead of seeing rejection as humiliation, see it as a doorway to self-respect, a doorway to peace, a doorway to a life where love doesn't have to be chased. Because the moment you accept truth without begging it to change, you become powerful. You become someone who cannot be controlled by people's mixed signals. You become someone who does not need to hold on to what is already slipping away. You become someone who knows their worth without needing another person to confirm it. And that is what spiritual maturity looks like. It is not chasing, it is choosing peace when someone refuses to choose you. 3. Healing is not instant, but every day you don't go back is a victory. One of the biggest mistakes people make after letting go of someone is expecting their heart to heal overnight. They think the moment they stop talking to that person, the pain should disappear. They think that if they cut them off, they should instantly feel powerful. They think that if they choose themselves, they should immediately feel happy. But healing doesn't work like that because your heart is not a machine. Your emotions are not a switch you can turn off. Healing is a process, and Buddhism teaches that real peace is built slowly through awareness, patience, and the quiet courage of not returning to what broke you. Because when you let go of someone you were attached to, you are not just letting go of a person. You are letting go of a routine your mind became addicted to. You are letting go of a habit. You are letting go of the constant checking, the constant waiting, the constant hoping. You are letting go of the way their name used to make your heart race, the way their message used to give you relief, the way their attention used to feel like a drug. And when you remove something your mind was dependent on, the mind goes through withdrawal. It feels restless. It feels empty. It feels like something is missing, and that emptiness can feel unbearable, especially in the beginning. But that emptiness is not proof that you made the wrong decision. It is proof that you are detoxing from attachment. Buddhism teaches that suffering is intensified when you fight your emotions instead of understanding them. Many people try to escape the pain by distracting themselves with other people, other relationships, other attention. They try to replace the person quickly, not because they healed, but because they are afraid to feel. They are afraid to sit in silence. They are afraid to be alone with their own thoughts. They are afraid that if they stop moving, the pain will swallow them. But the truth is, healing requires stillness. Healing requires facing what you feel without running back to the same addiction. And this is why the mind plays tricks on you after you let go. Your mind will start romanticizing the past. It will show you only the good moments. It will remind you of the laughter, the memories, the sweetness, the feelings you once had. It will make you forget the disrespect, forget the coldness, forget the nights you cried, forget the times you felt invisible, forget the moments you felt like you were not enough. The mind does this because it is craving familiarity, even if that familiarity was painful. Buddhism calls this attachment. The mind is attached to what it knows, even if what it knows is suffering. And this is why people return to toxic situations, not because they are happy there, but because they are familiar there. So healing is not just about removing someone from your life. Healing is about removing the illusion from your mind. Healing is about seeing the truth clearly, even when your heart misses them. Healing is about reminding yourself why you left when your emotions try to pull you back. Healing is about learning to sit with discomfort without turning it into desperation. And this takes time. It takes discipline. It takes patience. It takes emotional strength. There will be days when you feel okay, and then suddenly you don't. There will be days when you feel strong, and then suddenly you feel weak. There will be days when you feel free, and then suddenly you feel lonely, and this is completely normal. Healing is not a straight path. Healing is like the ocean. Some days the waves are calm, and some days the waves are heavy. But the goal is not to stop the waves. The goal is to learn how to stay steady through them. Buddhism teaches that emotions are like clouds. They come, they stay, and they pass. But when you attach to them, you suffer. When you believe they will last forever, you suffer. When you fear them, you suffer. But when you observe them with awareness, you become free. One of the strongest signs you're healing is when you stop needing closure, when you stop needing explanations, when you stop needing them to apologize, when you stop needing them to finally admit what they did wrong. Many people stay mentally stuck because they think closure is something another person must give them. But Buddhism teaches that closure is created inside you, not handed to you. Closure happens the day you accept the truth without needing anything more. Closure happens the day you stop waiting for people to become who they refuse to be. Closure happens the day you stop asking why they did this, and you start saying, "This is who they are, and I deserve better." And every time you don't go back, you become stronger. Even if it hurts, even if you cry, even if you miss them, even if your heart feels heavy. Because strength is not the absence of pain. Strength is choosing yourself even while you feel pain. Strength is walking forward even when your mind wants to return to the past. Strength is being loyal to your healing, not loyal to your addiction. That is why every day you don't go back is a victory. It is proof that you are breaking the cycle. It is proof that you are evolving. The hardest part of healing is the silence after the chaos, the silence after the messages, the silence after the constant emotional highs and lows. Because when you leave a painful attachment, your nervous system is still addicted to intensity. It is still expecting drama. It is still expecting anxiety. It is still expecting sadness. So when life becomes calm, it can feel empty. And this is why some people return to toxic relationships, because peace feels boring when you have been trained by chaos. But Buddhism teaches you to retrain your mind. It teaches you that real love is calm, real connection is calm, and real peace is calm. And once you become comfortable with calm, you will never again crave what destroys you. So, how do you heal properly? You heal by choosing small steps every day. You heal by not checking their profile. You heal by not rereading old messages. You heal by not begging for another conversation. You heal by not reopening wounds that you are trying to close. You heal by building new habits that bring you strength. You heal by focusing on your health, your goals, your discipline, and our future. You heal by filling your life with things that make you proud of yourself again. And slowly, you stop thinking of them every hour, then every day, then every week, until one day you realize they no longer control your emotions, and that day feels like freedom. Buddhism teaches that the person who can walk away from attachment becomes unstoppable because they are no longer controlled by fear. They are no longer controlled by loneliness. They are no longer controlled by rejection. They are no longer controlled by the need to be chosen. They are no longer controlled by the need to be chosen. Become centered. They become stable. They become peaceful. And from that peace, they build a life that cannot be shaken. So if you are healing right now, don't rush yourself. Don't shame yourself for missing them. Missing someone does not mean they were good for you. Missing someone only means you had emotions, only means you had memories, only means you were human. But what matters is what you do with that feeling. You can miss them and still move forward. You can feel pain and still choose yourself. You can feel lonely and still protect your peace. And every day you do that, you are winning, because healing is not a moment. Healing is a decision you repeat every single day. And every day you don't go back to someone who didn't choose you. You're becoming a stronger person than you were yesterday. 4. Their absence is not your punishment. It is your protection. One of the most painful thoughts that can enter your mind after someone leaves you, after someone doesn't choose you, after someone treats you like you were never known, is the thought that you are being punished. You start thinking maybe you were not good enough. Maybe you were too emotional. Maybe you loved too hard. Maybe you cared too much. Maybe you made mistakes. Maybe you were not worthy of being kept. And when the mind enters this dark place, it turns their absence into a personal sentence, as if life is telling you that you deserve to be alone. But Buddhism teaches something completely different, and if you understand it deeply, it will heal you from the inside out. Buddhism teaches that their absence is not your punishment, it is your protection. Because sometimes the greatest mercy in your life is not getting what you wanted. Sometimes the greatest blessing is something leaving even when you begged it to stay. Sometimes life removes people not because you are cursed, but because you are becoming blind in their presence. You are lowering yourself too much. You are losing your peace too often. You are drowning in attachment. You are living with anxiety. You are slowly becoming the worst version of yourself just to keep a connection alive. And life saw that you were not strong enough to walk away. So it did it for you. That is protection. Many people only realize the true danger of someone after they finally lose them. Because while they were present, you were distracted by emotions. You were distracted by hope. You were distracted by memories. You were distracted by the small moments of sweetness that kept your heart addicted. But once they leave, the fog starts clearing. And slowly, you begin to see everything you were ignoring. You begin to remember how often they disappointed you. You begin to remember how many nights you cried silently. You begin to remember how many times you felt like you were not enough. You begin to remember how you were always the one reaching out, always the one fixing, always the one giving. And then you realize something shocking. You were not losing them, you were escaping them. This is why their absence can feel painful. But it can also feel like relief. Relief that you no longer have to fight for attention. Relief that you no longer have to question your worth every day. Relief that you no longer have to overthink messages. Relief that you no longer have to wait for love like a hungry person waiting for food. Because deep down, your soul already knew this relationship was draining you. Your soul already knew you were being disrespected. Your soul already knew you were begging for something that should have been natural. But attachment kept you blind. Attachment kept you stuck. Attachment kept you hoping. And hope can be beautiful, but when hope keeps you in pain, it becomes a chain. Buddhism teaches that suffering comes from clinging to what is temporary. People are temporary, feelings are temporary, situations are temporary, and even relationships are temporary. Everything in life changes, but the mind resists change because it wants control, it wants certainty, it wants to guarantee. So when someone leaves, the mind goes into panic because it feels like it lost control. It feels like it lost stability. It feels like it lost a future. But in reality, what you lost was an illusion of safety. Because if someone can leave you so easily, if someone can treat you like you don't matter, then they were never stable to begin with. You were building your emotional home on unstable ground, and life was protecting you by removing what would have collapsed anyway. Sometimes people leave not because you were not enough, but because they were not ready. Sometimes people leave because they do not have the heart you have. They do not have the loyalty you have. They do not have the depth you have. They do not have the maturity you have. And when they leave, it is not proof that you were unworthy. It is proof that they could not match you. But instead of seeing it like that, most people chase the one who left. They try to convince them. They try to prove themselves. They try to earn what should not be earned. And while doing this, they lose their own power. Buddhism teaches you to stop chasing what leaves, because if it leaves, it is not yours. If it disrespects you, it is not for you. If it makes you feel small, it is not meant for you. If it drains your peace, it is not love. This is why detachment is not coldness. Detachment is wisdom. It is the wisdom of understanding that holding on to someone who harms your peace is not love. It is self-harm. And no matter how many memories you have, no matter how many emotions you still feel, no matter how attached your heart is, you must remember that your peace is more valuable than a person who doesn't choose you. Another truth that is hard to accept is that some people are lessons, not partners. They enter your life to teach you something, not to stay forever. They enter your life to reveal parts of you that need healing. They enter your life to expose your emotional patterns. They enter your life to show you where you are still weak. And once the lesson is complete, they leave. But many people fail this lesson because instead of learning, they beg. Instead of growing, they chase. Instead of healing, they repeat the same mistake with the same type of people again and again. Buddhism teaches that life will keep sending the same lesson until you finally learn it. So what is the lesson here? The lesson is self-respect. The lesson is boundaries. The lesson is knowing your worth. The lesson is learning to be alone without collapsing. The lesson is about stopping emotional dependency. The lesson is choosing peace over attachment. The lesson is understanding that love is not supposed to feel like pain and humiliation. And once you learn this lesson, life changes because now you stop allowing people to treat you like an option. Now you stop staying in half-love. Now you stop accepting crumbs. Now you stop begging. And when you stop begging, you become powerful. Because begging is what keeps you weak. Begging keeps you emotionally controlled. Begging makes you feel like you need them to survive. But once you understand that their absence is protection, you stop feeling like a victim. You start feeling grateful. Not grateful for the pain, but grateful that you were saved from deeper pain. Because imagine if they stayed. Imagine if you spent years chasing their love. Imagine if you wasted your best years trying to earn attention. Imagine if you built your future around someone who never truly valued you. Imagine if you kept shrinking to keep them comfortable. Imagine if you kept sacrificing until there was nothing left of you. That would have been a slow death, and life saved you from it by removing them. So instead of crying only because they left, reflect deeply. Ask yourself, what was their presence doing to my mind? What was their presence doing to my heart? What was their presence doing to my self-worth? Were they truly building me, or were they breaking me? Were they truly bringing peace, or were they bringing anxiety? Were they truly choosing me, or were they just using me? These questions will wake you up because when you answer honestly, you will realize that their absence is not something you should fear. It is something you should respect. Buddhism teaches that when something is removed from your life, it creates space. Space for peace, space for healing, space for growth, space for better things, space for better people, space for the version of you that you are always meant to become. But you can only receive what is meant for you if you stop clinging to what is not. So don't beg them to return. Don't chase them. Don't replay the memories until you break yourself. Don't romanticize what hurt you. Accept the protection. Accept the lesson. Accept the space. Because your life is not ending. It is clear. Your story is not finished. It is transforming. And the person who couldn't choose you was never your destination. They were a test of whether you would finally choose yourself. And when you finally choose yourself, you will realize the most powerful truth of all. Losing them was not your punishment. It was your rescue. 5. The pain isn't them leaving. The pain is that you are abandoning yourself. One of the deepest reasons it hurts so much when people don't choose you is not simply because they walked away. It's because while trying to keep them in your life, you slowly started losing yourself. You didn't notice it at first because it didn't happen in one day. It happened quietly, little by little. The way a person slowly forgets their own worth when they keep fighting for someone who keeps pulling away. You stopped being your own priority. You stopped listening to what your heart needed. You stopped asking yourself, am I being respected here? And instead, you kept asking, how can I make them stay? And that is where the real pain begins, because the moment you start chasing someone, you stop protecting yourself. You started overthinking every single word you said. If they replied late, you felt nervous. If they spoke coldly, you felt anxious. If they didn't call, you started blaming yourself. You began reading into their tone, their messages, their moods, like your happiness depended on their behavior. And the saddest part is, you started changing yourself just to feel safe with them. You adjusted your personality so you could be more acceptable. You became quieter so you wouldn't be too much. You stopped expressing your real feelings because you were afraid it would push them away. You stopped being honest because you didn't want to look needy. You started doing things that were not even your nature, just to keep their attention. And slowly, why without realizing it, became smaller in a place where you were supposed to feel loved. This is why it doesn't just feel like they rejected you. It feels like you lost your identity because you weren't only loving them, you were sacrificing yourself for them. You weren't only caring, you were begging for basic effort. You weren't only trying, you were exhausting your soul to earn something that should have been given freely. And when love becomes something you have to fight for, it stops being love and starts becoming survival. You no longer want love. You start wanting reassurance. You no longer want a connection. You start wanting proof that you matter. Proof that you are not replaceable. Proof that you are enough. And this is exactly why the pain becomes so heavy, because you feel like your value is being tested every day. Buddhism teaches that this is how suffering grows, because the ego becomes attached to being chosen. The ego wants validation. It wants to feel important. It wants to feel like it won. And when someone doesn't choose you, the ego doesn't just feel sad. It feels humiliated. It feels rejected. It feels like it failed. But the truth is, your worth was never meant to be decided by another person's attention. Your peace was never meant to depend on someone's reply, their effort, or their mood. Your peace comes from staying loyal to yourself, even when someone else is confused about your values. 6. The moment you stop chasing, your life begins choosing you. There is a moment in your life that feels small from the outside, but inside it is one of the most powerful spiritual awakenings a human being can experience. And that moment is when you finally stop chasing. Not because you stopped caring, not because you became cold, not because you lost your heart, but because your soul became tired of running after people who never ran toward you. Your soul became tired of proving itself. Your soul became tired of begging for what should have been natural. And when you finally stop chasing, something inside you returns to its right place. Your dignity comes back. Your confidence comes back. Your peace comes back. Your mind starts breathing again. Most people don't understand how much chasing destroys them until they finally stop. Because chasing is not just an action. Chasing is a mindset. It is the mindset of feeling like you are always behind, like you are always lacking, like you are always trying to catch up to love. And when you live in that mindset, you are constantly sending a message to your own heart that you are not enough. You are silently telling yourself, if I were valuable, I wouldn't have to chase. You're telling yourself, if I mattered, they would stay. And without realizing it, you start damaging your own self-worth. You start feeling small. You start feeling replaceable. You start feeling like you must earn love by suffering. Buddhism teaches that your suffering increases when your mind becomes hungry. hungry for approval, hungry for attention, hungry for validation, hungry for reassurance. And chasing is a form of hunger. It is you searching for peace in the wrong place. It is you trying to fill an inner emptiness with someone else's presence. And the problem is no matter how much attention you get, it will never be enough. Because hunger does not end with feeding it once. Hunger ends by healing the place inside you that believes you need to chase to be worthy. That is why even when the person returns, even when they message you, even when they give you a little love, you still don't feel fully safe. You still don't feel fully calm because deep down, you know it can disappear again. You know it is unstable. You know it is not solid, and your mind stays trapped in fear. But the moment you stop chasing, a new energy enters your life. At first, it will feel strange. It will feel uncomfortable because your heart has been trained to run. Your emotions have been trained to attach. Your mind has been trained to seek. So when you finally stop, it feels like silence after a long war. It feels like your body still expects pain. It feels like your mind still expects drama. It feels like your heart still expects rejection. But if you stay in that silence long enough, you will start hearing something you haven't heard in a long time. Your own voice, your own truth, your own worth, your own power. When you stop chasing, you also start seeing reality differently. You stop seeing people as trophies. You stop seeing relationships as survival. You stop seeing love as something you have to prove yourself for. You begin to see love as something that should be mutual, natural, peaceful, and respectful. You begin to notice things you ignored before. You begin to notice red flags that you were calling small issues. You begin to notice how drained you were, how anxious you were, how emotionally tired you were, how you were constantly walking on eggshells just to keep someone close, and you begin to realize you were not in love. You were in a cycle of attachment, hope, disappointment, and pain. Buddhism teaches that life becomes lighter the moment you release attachment. Because attachment makes everything heavy. Attachment makes you cling to people who don't value you. Attachment makes you cling to relationships that are already dead. Attachment makes you cling to memories that are already finished. Attachment makes you cling to versions of yourself that no longer fit your growth. But once you release, you feel an inner lightness because now you are no longer carrying dead weight in your heart. And here is the beautiful part. Once you stop chasing, you stop living in desperation. Your energy changes, your presence changes, your aura changes. You start moving differently. You stop reacting to every small thing. You stop begging for replies. You stop checking your phone every second. You stop thinking, maybe they will come back. You stop planning your life around someone who is not even stable in your life. You stop making excuses for people who keep disappointing you. You stop building your happiness around someone else's mood, and when you stop doing these things, you become calm. And calm is power. Many people don't realize this, but the energy of chasing is unattractive to life. Not just to people, but to life itself. Because chasing is the energy of lack. It is the energy of need. It is the energy of emptiness. It is the energy of, please don't leave me. And when you move with that energy, you attract more situations that keep you in lack, more half-love, more confusion, more unstable connections, more temporary people, more disappointments. But when you stop chasing, you step into a new energy. The energy of self-respect, the energy of wholeness, the energy of peace, the energy of I will be okay with or without you. And that energy is magnetic because it comes from strength, not neediness. The moment you stop chasing, life starts choosing you because you finally become ready for better. You finally become ready for people who don't play games. You finally become ready for relationships that don't require you to sacrifice yourself. You finally become ready for love that feels calm, not chaotic. You finally become ready for connections that are consistent, not confusing. Because the truth is, You can't receive high-quality love when your heart is addicted to low-quality attention. You can't receive peace when your mind is addicted to drama. You can't receive stability when your emotions are attached to instability. So, life waits until you detach. Life waits until you heal. Life waits until you stop chasing what was never meant for you. And only then does it bring you what is real. And even if life does not bring a person immediately, it brings something more important first. It brings you back to yourself. It brings you self-trust. It brings you confidence. It brings you clarity. It brings you inner safety. You start becoming someone who enjoys being alone, someone who builds quietly, someone who protects their peace, someone who doesn't overshare their heart to people who don't deserve it. Only one who knows their worth deeply. And once you become that person, the world cannot use you the same way anymore. This is why chasing ends when healing begins. Because healing teaches you that you don't need to beg for love. Healing teaches you that you don't need to compete for attention. Healing teaches you that you don't need to prove your value to anyone. Healing teaches you that if someone doesn't choose you, it is not your job to convince them. It is your job to walk away and choose yourself. And that decision is the most powerful decision you can make because it breaks the cycle. It ends the suffering, it ends the addiction, it ends the humiliation. So remember this: the moment you stop chasing, you stop suffering. The moment you stop begging, you start becoming. The moment you stop trying to be enough for people who don't deserve you, you finally become enough for yourself. And when you become enough for yourself, you no longer fear abandonment because you are no longer abandoning yourself. That is true freedom. That is true peace. That is true spiritual power. 7. Stop begging for love. You are not a market item seeking a buyer. There comes a moment in life when you finally realize something painful, but also something freeing. And that moment is when you understand that begging for love does not make you more lovable. It only makes you more exhausted. It does not make people respect you. It only teaches them that they can give you less and you will still stay. And most people don't want to admit this because it feels humiliating to accept. But the truth is, the more you beg for love, the more you train your own heart to accept disrespect as normal. Begging can look many different ways. Sometimes it looks like sending one more message even after they already ignored you. Sometimes it looks like staying quiet about something that hurt you because you don't want them to leave. Sometimes it looks like always forgiving without change, always understanding without effort, always giving without receiving. Sometimes it looks like laughing at things that broke you inside just so you don't look too emotional. Sometimes it looks like saying it's okay when it's not okay. And slowly, you start living like your feelings don't matter. You start living like your needs don't matter. You start living like your boundaries don't matter. You start living like your dignity can be traded for attention. But let's be clear, love was never meant to be a negotiation. Love was never meant to be something you earn by proving yourself. Love was never meant to be something you beg for, like a poor person begging for crumbs. Real love is not something you have to convince someone to give you. Real love comes naturally. It comes from respect. It comes from sincerity. It comes from two hearts that are present. That is why the most painful relationships are not the ones that end. The most painful relationships are the ones where you stay, but you slowly lose your self-respect every day. Buddhism teaches that suffering grows the moment you start tying your worth to people's approval. Because when you need someone to choose you to feel valuable, you are no longer living freely. You are living in dependence. You start treating love like a prize you must win. You start treating affection like something you must earn. You start treating attention like something you must chase. And this mindset turns you into a prisoner without chains. You are still breathing, still smiling, still functioning. But inside, you feel like you are constantly waiting for permission to feel happy. And the saddest part is, you start measuring your worth based on someone's behavior. If they reply fast, you feel happy. If they reply late, you feel anxious. If they are cold, you feel insecure. If they are sweet, you feel hope. Your emotions become controlled by their mood. Your peace becomes controlled by their actions. That is not love. That is emotional slavery. And Buddhism is always trying to bring you back to freedom. Because peace is not meant to be something that others control. This is why begging is dangerous, because it slowly breaks your identity. It makes you feel like you are not enough as you are. It makes you feel like you must perform to be loved. It makes you feel like you must constantly prove that you deserve attention. And when you live in that mindset, even when someone gives you love, you still don't feel safe because deep inside you believe love can be taken away at any moment. So you keep overgiving, you keep overthinking, you keep sacrificing, you keep draining yourself. F-E-N, and you call it love, but it is really fear wearing the mask of love. Another painful truth is this: when you beg, you're not only lowering yourself, you're also raising them in your mind. You start seeing them like they are above you, like they are rare, like they are special, like you must do anything to keep them. And the moment you place someone on a pedestal, you automatically place yourself below them. And when you put yourself below someone, you lose your power because now they don't need to treat you with care. They don't need to be consistent. They don't need to be loyal. They don't need to be fair because they know you are already emotionally trapped. Buddhism teaches that attachment creates illusion. It makes you see someone as more valuable than they truly are. It makes you ignore their red flags. It makes you minimize their disrespect. It makes you accept things that you would never accept from someone else. You start thinking, maybe they will change. Maybe this is just a phase. Maybe I'm asking too much. Maybe I should be more patient. But the truth is, you don't need patience for someone disrespectful. You need boundaries. You don't need more understanding for someone who keeps hurting you. You need distance, and you don't need more effort to prove your worth. You need to stop giving your worth to someone who doesn't value it. And here is the awakening. You are not a market item looking for a buyer. You are not a product waiting to be selected. You are not an option that someone can pick when they are bored. You are a human being with a heart, with emotions, with dignity, with value. And your worth does not decrease just because someone failed to recognize it. The sun does not become less bright just because a blind person cannot see it. Your value is real, even if they ignore it. That is why the strongest moment in your life is not when someone finally chooses you. The strongest moment in your life is when you stop begging and you start walking away with peace. Because walking away is not weaknesses. Walking away is wisdom. Walking away is self-respect. Walking away is you finally saying, I don't need your love if it comes with pain, confusion, and humiliation. Walking away is you finally protecting your heart as it matters. Walking away is you finally treating yourself like you deserve more. Buddhism teaches that the more you cling, the more you suffer. But the more you release, the freer you become. And the moment you stop begging for love is the moment you start healing. Because now you are not chasing people, you are choosing peace. Now you are not starving for validation, you are building inner stability. Now you are not waiting for someone to complete you. You are becoming complete within yourself, and that is real power. So stop begging, stop lowering yourself, stop proving yourself, stop pleading for effort, stop staying in spaces where you are not appreciated. You were never meant to chase love. You were never meant to suffer just to feel chosen. You were meant to be loved naturally, respected deeply, and valued fully. And until someone gives you that, it is better to be alone in peace than to be with someone and lose yourself every day. 8. Stop looking for someone to save you. Become the person you are waiting for. One of the deepest traps in life is believing that one day someone will come and fix everything. Someone will finally love you the right way. Someone will finally choose you fully. Someone will finally understand you deeply. Someone will finally stay. And because of this belief, you keep waiting. You keep hoping, you keep searching for a person to heal the pain inside you. But Buddhism teaches something that can wake you up in the most powerful way. It teaches that the more you depend on someone to save you, the more you delay your own awakening. Because the truth is, nobody is coming to rescue your heart the way you think. The peace you want is not hiding inside someone else. It is hiding inside the version of you that you haven't become yet. Many people suffer in love because they are not just seeking connection. They are seeking escape. They are trying to escape loneliness. They are trying to escape insecurity. They are trying to escape their own emptiness. They are trying to escape the feeling of not being enough. So when they meet someone who gives them attention, and even a little, it feels like relief. It feels like healing. It feels like safety. And the mind begins to attach quickly. Not because the person is truly right, but because the person is temporarily filling a hole. That is why you can become emotionally attached so fast, even to someone inconsistent. Because what you were craving wasn't the person. It was the feeling of not being alone anymore. But when your love is built on being rescued, you will always suffer because now your happiness depends on how well the other person is doing their job. If they are kind, you feel good. If they are distant, you collapse. If they are loving, you feel alive. If they ignore you, you feel worthless. Your emotions become like a leaf in the wind, moving wherever their energy pushes you. This is not love. This is emotional dependence. This is you giving your soul into another person's hands and hoping they handle it gently. And most people don't handle it gently, not because they are evil, but because they are human, confused, selfish, immature, or simply not meant for you. Buddhism teaches that the world is uncertain, people are uncertain, and feelings are uncertain. And that is why basing your inner peace on external things is a guaranteed path to suffering. Because everything outside of you can change at any moment. People can leave, people can lose interest, people can change, people can disappoint. So if your peace depends on them, your peace will never be stable. This is why the strongest people are not the ones who are loved by everyone. The strongest people are the ones who become their own foundation. And this is where the real transformation begins. The day you stop looking for someone to save you is the day you start saving yourself. This is the day you stop waiting for love to give you confidence and you start building confidence through discipline. This is the day you stop waiting for someone to choose you and you start choosing yourself daily. This is the day you stop waiting for someone to bring you happiness and you start building a life that makes you proud. Because when your life is full of purpose, you stop begging for attention. When your heart is full of self-respect, you stop accepting crumbs. When your mind is strong, you stop fearing rejection. Many people don't realize this, but the reason rejection destroys them is that they don't have a strong relationship with themselves. They don't have a deep connection with their own soul. They don't know how to sit with themselves. They don't know how to comfort themselves. They don't know how to be their own safe place. So when someone leaves, it feels like everything collapses because that person was their emotional home. But Buddhism teaches you that your home must be inside you. Your home must be your own mind. Your home must be your own peace. Because if your home is outside, you will always be homeless when people walk away. So you must become the person you were waiting for. You must become the one who protects your heart. You must become the one who calms your mind. You must become the one who lifts you when you fall. You must become the one who stays with you through pain. Because when you become that person, you no longer fear losing anyone, because losing people does not destroy you anymore. It may hurt, but it will not break you. And that is what real emotional strength looks like. Being the person you were waiting for means you stop seeking love as a source of identity. You stop using relationships to feel valuable. You stop using attention to feel alive. You stop needing people to confirm your worth. You start confirming your own worth through your actions, through your discipline, through your growth, through your healing, through your goals, through your silence, through your self-control. Because the truth is, as the world respects a person who respects themselves, and life starts giving you better when you stop settling for less. This is why some people never experience real love, because they are too busy chasing love to build themselves. They are too busy begging for attention to build confidence. They are too busy proving their worth to unworthy people to focus on their own purpose. And in this case, they lose time, they lose energy, they lose self-respect, they lose opportunities. But the moment you stop chasing and you start building, your life changes. Because now you are not hunting for love, you are becoming love. And when you become love, you attract natural love, not forced. Buddhism teaches that your greatest power is awareness. Awareness is what wakes you up. Awareness is what frees you. Awareness is what breaks the cycle. When you become aware that you are searching for someone to save you, you stop making the same mistake. You stop giving strangers the power to control your mood. You stop giving temporary people the ability to destroy your identity. You stop handing your heart to someone who doesn't even know how to hold it properly. And instead, you take your heart back and you treat it like something sacred. So what do you do now? You stop building your life around being chosen. You stop building your happiness around being loved. You stop measuring your value through other people's behavior, and you start doing the real work. You start building your body. You start building your mind. You start building your skills. You start building your future. You start building your routine. You start building your spiritual strength. You start building the version of you that nobody can play with anymore. Because the truth is, the best revenge is not making them regret losing you. The best revenge is becoming so strong that you don't even care anymore. The best revenge is becoming so peaceful that their absence feels like relief. The best revenge is becoming so whole that nobody can complete you because you are already complete. And the most powerful thing is this. The day you stop looking for someone to save you is the day you stop being a victim of love. You stop being someone who gets hurt easily. You stop being someone who collapses when people leave. You stop being someone who begs. You stop being someone who settles, and you become someone who chooses themselves first. So don't wait for someone to save you. Don't wait for someone to choose you. Don't wait for someone to love you properly. Become the person you were waiting for. Because when you become that person, you stop feeling abandoned and you start feeling protected. Protected by your own self-respect, protected by your own discipline, protected by your own wisdom, protected by your own peace. And once you reach that level, the world cannot break you the same way anymore. 9. Love that must be forced was never love. Itan has attached. One of the most painful truths you will ever face in life is realizing that some people never needed you the way you needed them. You gave your time, your loyalty, your effort, your emotions, and your patience. But deep inside, you were always the one carrying the relationship, and that is why it hurts so much, because you didn't just love them. You fought for them. You tried to prove your value. You tried to earn their attention. You tried to hold on tighter every time they pulled away. But the moment love becomes something you have to chase, the moment love becomes something you have to beg for, it stops being love and it becomes attachment. Buddhism teaches that attachment is one of the biggest causes of suffering because attachment makes you believe that your peace is somewhere outside of you. It makes you believe that if this person stays, you will be okay. But if they leave, your world will collapse. Attachment turns someone into your emotional oxygen. You start feeling like you cannot breathe without them. You start thinking, if I lose them, I lose myself. And that is a dangerous mindset, because now your happiness is not in your hands anymore. It is in theirs. Their moods control you. Their attention controls you. Their absence controls you. Even a small change in their behavior starts affecting your mental health. That is why forced love feels so heavy, because forced love is not peaceful. Forced love is stressful. Forced love is you sitting with your phone in your hand, waiting for a reply like your heart is on hold. Forced love is you trying to act cool and fine even though you are breaking inside. Forced love is you questioning yourself every day, asking, did I do something wrong? Am I not good enough? Why am I always the one trying? And slowly, your mind becomes tired, not because you are weak, but because you are carrying the weight of two people alone. Real love does not require constant chasing. Real love does not make you feel confused every week. Real love does not disappear and come back only when it feels convenient. Real love does not make you feel like you have to compete with their ego, their pride, their excuses, or their distractions. When someone truly values you, you don't have to beg for basic respect. You don't have to beg them to stay consistent. You don't have to beg them to choose you, because love is not something you should have to earn by suffering. Love is something that flows naturally when both hearts are present. But attachment makes you hold on even when you are clearly being hurt. It makes you stay in situations that keep draining you. It makes you accept crumbs and call it effort. It makes you accept silence and call it space. It makes you accept disrespect and call it their personality. And the reason you keep holding on is not that they are so special. It's because you are scared of what happens when you finally let go. You are scared of the emptiness. You are scared of being alone. You are scared of losing the memories. You are scared that nobody else will love you the same way. And that fear becomes the chain that keeps you stuck. But Buddhism teaches something powerful here. You are not suffering because you lost them. You are suffering because you are attached to the idea of them, attached to the version of them you imagined, attached to the hope that one day they will change. One day they will finally choose you. One day they will realize your worth, and hope is a beautiful thing. But when hope keeps you trapped in pain, it becomes poison because you keep waiting for someone to become the person they are not choosing to be. So the lesson is simple. If love has to be forced, it was never love. It was your attachment trying to protect you from loneliness. And the moment you stop forcing love, you stop forcing your heart to suffer because you finally understand the right people don't need to be chased. They don't need to be convinced, and they don't need to be begged. They choose you clearly, peacefully, and naturally. 10. Loneliness is not the enemy. The real enemy is emotional dependency. One of the biggest reasons people cannot let go of someone who doesn't choose them is not because that person is truly irreplaceable. It is because the fear of being alone feels like death. The mind starts panicking, not because love is gone, but because the attachment is being threatened. And this is where many people lose their strength, because instead of facing loneliness, they cling harder, they chase harder, they beg more, they tolerate more disrespect, they accept more pain. Not because they are weak people, but because they are emotionally dependent. And dependency makes you feel like being alone is the worst thing that can happen. But Buddhism teaches something that most people never learn until life forces them to learn it. And that is this. Loneliness is not your enemy. Your addiction to people is your enemy. The real enemy is not silence. The real enemy is the belief that you cannot be okay without someone. Emotional dependency is when your heart believes someone else is responsible for your peace. It is when your mind believes someone else must be there for you to feel safe. It is when you start thinking love is something you must hold tightly, because if you lose it, you will lose yourself. And that belief creates suffering, because now you are not living. You are clinging. A dependent heart does not love freely. It loves anxiously. Lives sear in every breath. It loves with tension in every thought. It loves while constantly watching for signs of abandonment. It loves while preparing for rejection. That is why emotional dependency makes you overthink everything. It makes you obsessed with small changes. It makes you sensitive to every shift. A simple seen message can ruin your entire mood. A cold reply can destroy your confidence, A delayed response can make your mind imagine 1,000 painful stories, and slowly you become a prisoner of someone else's attention. Your happiness rises and falls based on whether they are giving you love or starving you of it. That is not love, that is suffering. Many people confuse dependency with love because dependency feels intense. It feels deep. It feels like you cannot breathe without them. It feels like you need them. But needing someone is not the same as loving someone. Love is peaceful. Love is stable. Love feels safe. Love allows you to remain yourself. But dependency feels like you are constantly losing yourself. It feels like you are always waiting for something, waiting for them to act right, waiting for them to choose you, waiting for them to become consistent, waiting for them to finally give you what you've been begging for. And the sad part is, while you are waiting, your life is passing. Buddhism teaches that attachment creates a false sense of safety. It makes you believe that if you hold on to someone, then you will not suffer. But the truth is, holding on is the reason you are suffering, because attachment makes you resist reality. It makes you resist change. It makes you resist endings. It makes you resist the truth. You start holding on to a relationship that is clearly dying because the mind thinks that if I let go, I will be alone. But loneliness is not what destroys people. Emotional dependency destroys people. Dependency destroys your self-esteem. Dependency destroys your peace. Dependency destroys your ability to think clearly, because now your entire emotional world becomes controlled by someone else. This is why loneliness feels so frightening. Because when you are emotionally dependent, being alone forces you to face yourself. And many people don't want to face themselves. They don't want to sit in silence because silence brings feelings they have been avoiding. Silence brings pain. Silence brings memories. Silence brings truth. Silence brings self-awareness. When you are alone, there is no distraction. There is no person to comfort you. There is no attention to numb your emptiness. And that is why people run back to relationships that hurt them. Because pain with someone feels easier than facing emptiness alone. But here is the spiritual truth. Loneliness is not emptiness. Loneliness is space. It is space to breathe again, space to heal again, space to rebuild yourself, space to find your identity again, space to reconnect with your own heart, space to hear your own thoughts without someone's noise controlling you. Loneliness is not your enemy. It is your training ground. It is where you become mentally strong. It is where you become emotionally independent. It is where you learn that your peace does not need permission from anyone. Buddhism teaches that the mind is like a lake. When people are constantly stirring your emotions, the lake stays muddy. You cannot see clearly, you cannot feel stable. But when you step away, when you detach, when you stop chasing, the lake becomes still again. And when the lake becomes still, you see truth. You see yourself. You see what you tolerated. You see what you ignored. You see the red flags you were calling love. You see the disrespect you were calling a misunderstanding. You see how much energy you wasted trying to earn what should have been normal. And this clarity is painful at first. But it is also healing, because now you are awake. And slowly, loneliness starts changing you. At first, loneliness feels heavy. It feels like a punishment. It feels like you are unwanted. But if you stay with it, if you stop running from it, it begins to transform into peace. You start enjoying your own company. You start building routines that make you stronger. You start doing things for yourself without needing anyone to watch. You stop needing validation. You stop needing constant attention. You stop needing people to confirm your worth. And the day you stop needing people is the day you stop fearing them leaving, because now you are not emotionally hostage. This is the power of being happy alone. It does not mean you hate people. It does not mean you don't want love. It means you no longer need love to survive. It means you can love without attachment. You can care without losing yourself. You can be with someone without fear controlling you. You can be alone without collapsing. This is emotional freedom. This is inner strength. This is the kind of peace that nobody can steal. That is why being alone is not a curse. It is a gift. It is life telling you to stop giving your heart to people who don't protect it. It is life giving you a chance to rebuild your foundation. Because when you learn to stand alone, you stop begging, you stop chasing, you stop settling, you stop accepting crumbs, and you become the kind of person who only welcomes people who come with respect, effort, sincerity, and peace. So if you are alone right now, don't panic. Don't rush back to someone who didn't choose you. Don't run back to what broke you. Sit in silence. Sit with the space. Let it hurt for a while, because that pain is not destroying you. It is detoxing you. It is removing your dependency. It is removing your addiction. It is training you to find home inside yourself. And once you find that home, you will never beg for love again, because you will finally understand the strongest love is not the love that someone gives you. The strongest love is the love you build within yourself. So let them go. Not because you hate them, not because you are heartless, not because you stopped caring, but because your soul is finally tired of begging. Tired of chasing love that keeps running away. Tired of giving your heart to people who only hold it when it benefits them. And understand this deeply. You were never created to live like a person who has to fight for basic effort. You were never meant to sit in silence waiting for someone to finally choose you. You were never meant to destroy your dignity just to keep someone close. Real love does not require you to suffer to prove your value. Buddhism teaches that peace is not something you find in another person. Peace is something you return to inside yourself. And the moment you stop clinging to people who don't choose you, you stop clinging to pain, you stop clinging to disappointment, you stop clinging to humiliation, you stop clinging to false hope. Because hope is only beautiful when it leads to growth. But when hope keeps you trapped in the same heartbreak, it becomes a cage. So instead of hoping for them to change, hope for yourself to heal. Hope for yourself to rise. Hope for yourself to become strong enough to never beg again. And yes, it will hurt at first. Your heart will miss them. Your mind will replay memories. Your emotions will try to pull you back. But don't confuse missing someone with needing someone. Missing them does not mean they were good for you. Missing them does not mean you should return. It only means you were attached. And attachment always feels painful when it breaks. But that pain is not here to destroy you. It is here to free you. It is here to cleanse you. It is here to rebuild you. Because sometimes you don't heal by getting answers. You heal by accepting truth and walking away with dignity. So if someone didn't choose you, let them go. If someone made you feel invisible, release them. If someone turned your love into anxiety, detach. If someone made you beg for effort, walk away. Because the truth is, it is better to be alone with peace than to be with someone and lose yourself every single day. And when you finally choose yourself, life starts changing in ways you never expected. Your mind becomes quiet, your heart becomes lighter, your energy returns, your confidence grows, and you start building a life that doesn't collapse when someone leaves. Remember this line and let it stay inside your heart forever. You are never meant to beg for love. You are meant to be respected. You are meant to be valued. You are meant to be chosen naturally. And until that happens, choose yourself again and again. Even if it's lonely, even if it's painful, even if it takes time, because one day you will look back and realize that letting them go was not the moment you lost love. It was the moment you found yourself. And if this message touched your heart, comment these words right now. I choose peace. Because from today, you stop chasing people and you start walking toward the life you truly deserve.